What is going on, guys? Pomson87 here, and I'm here with round 3 of the Aussie Sim Racing League on F1 2016, round 3 for the Chinese Grand Prix. And I'd advise you guys to stick out to the end of this race because it's a really fun and exciting race. A whole heap of battling, very fun. I didn't actually realise until I watched it back how many battles and stuff there were during this race. But anyway, this is the instant on the qualifying lap. Fugonomic Kane in the Sauber. I caught up to him during my qualifying run on the soft tyres, and I tapped the back of him. I backed off as I was going to come back to the pit lane, and I didn't see there, unfortunately, that all-round cricketer in his Mercedes had caught right to the back of us. I don't think there's anyone behind me, and that's a bit of a huge rookie error, really. I found it pretty bad, so I cancelled my qualifying run. I didn't actually set a time. I ignored a cricketer, unfortunately, who we caused a collision with, but luckily he didn't actually want that reviewed or an extra penalty for that, so I appreciate that, but it was just a bit of a rookie error for me. I moved last minute and I was just way too late. So we're on the back row of the grid, me and cricketer, 17th and 18th place. It's going to be an interesting race. We're going to be, obviously, we might choose an alternate strategy. As you can see, they were going to select the medium tyres. It's going to be a two-stop strategy with, I believe, 2 sets of softs after this. But I feel like I have good pace this track. If I qualified, I reckon I would have got P4. That's how good my pace was, I think, for this track at China. I don't know, I haven't gone well in the past, but for some reason in this game I just feel really good round here. But anyway, we're lining up on the grid now in 17th place. We've got all-round cricketers behind us, we've got Fugonomic Kane in front of us, we're on the medium tyres, so we want to keep it nice and clean throughout the first stint and the start, as we don't really want any damage that could prove costly, as we want a very long first stint on our tyres. So anyway, warmed up now for the 5 lights, and the 5 lights are out, and away we go eventually. Away we go now, and we get a fairly decent-ish start. We've got Luxembourg ahead, we've got DJ who's got a very poor start, we've got quite a few cars on the left going very slowly. We had to actually ease up the throttles, I don't know, wasn't sure what was happening there, and we got stuck at the inside of X-Harley. So that's a good start already. Got quite a few cars going on the inside, going very slowly there as they go around the outside. And then we got Haas that spun, and we accidentally tapped the back of the other Haas and get a bit of front-wing damage. It's a bit unfortunate, really, not what we need. And now we got the inside. I think that was a Ferrari, Torosso there. I'm not quite sure. As we tried to get past Fugonomic Kane, who wasn't quite able to there. We've got front-wing damage, as you can see, on the left-hand side. So hopefully it won't impact us too much. So we need to extend this as long as possible. And now we're right behind Customs and Fugonomic Kane. It's a very good start so far, though. Up into 9th place from 17th from the grid. Channeling my inner Alonso there. Fighting way back through the pack. Very opportunistic. Unfortunately, we get more front-wing damage. They tap the back of Customs. It's it's an easy mistake to make, really, if I'm honest. Just tap the back of someone who's going slower than you think they're going to go. Well, actually quicker than Customs and this Sauber there. As we get past the Sauber, we went quite wide through the snail section leading onto the back straight. But you can see the understeer there. We had to back out the throttle halfway through, and I think that might put us under pressure from the Red Bull behind of iVixer, or Charlie as he's called in this league. He's on the soft tyre as well. As we, just on the car in front, we got slipstream from Customs ahead, but that wasn't enough to hold back Vixer, who dived down the inside. So it's a good move by him, actually, on the first lap of the race when everyone's a bit rusty with their braking points. As a good solid move, as Customs there runs a little wide for the final corner, and the Red Bull and the Torosso are going to go side by side into turn 1, as we are just waiting in the wings. As my teammate there off of turn 1, but the Torosso spins, the Red Bull goes wide. Bit of a collision there. I think that's just like a sort of contact model sort of glitch. I think Customs, sort of understeered to the side of Vixer there. Bit fortunate for both, but we picked up the pieces. And we're now up to P5. P5, what a start we've had, really, at the start of this race. It's been awesome. From what, 17th from the grid to now P5. But unfortunately, because of that front wing damage, we're going to have to do a bit of park in the bus now from the other league races. They're going to be very quick. Starting with DJ RTP 17. I'm just going to call you DJ. It's just a bit easier. As we actually get the switch back in him. A very nice move there as he outbroke himself very slightly there. Now into lap 5, we get a very poor exit out of that section in sector 2. Very tricky section, and with the off-balance nature of the car now, as it got severe front-wing damage to one side of the car only, it makes it very unstable and very unpredictable sometimes, the car as well. as we had to cut the corner a little bit there as DJ had thrown it down our inside. Now he's going to be right on our gearbox, going on the back straight. This is where we see who's got the best straight line speed. Looks like we have, actually. We're pulling away from him, which is very surprising, as he probably would have DRS and, well, Slipstream, obviously. And as you know, Slipstream on this game is very OP. Maybe he dives on the inside anyway, but we give him room, and with superior traction on the outside line, we easily hold the position ahead of him. Now into lap 6, we've got Warden 99, the race leader actually, emerging from the pit lane. We just completely understeer at turn 1. Look at the understeer, really. We can barely keep it on the road, as it definitely affects us through the right-handers more. But the race leader's already jumped us. He was already a pit step ahead, basically, then, which is a bit unfortunate. The pace on the damage from wing is just pretty bad, really, unfortunately. And if I hadn't got it, I would be at least 5 seconds up the road, I feel. But now we're defending once again from DJ, and XL Shadows in his Force India. I'm going to let DJ have the inside line and hope he outbreaks himself once again. Willie, he brakes quite early this time, actually. We try and hold it around the outside still, though, into first gear. We get on the curb, we get a very bad run. Looks like DJ sort of disappeared. Now the Ferrari and the Force India somehow go around our outside. I have no idea where Acro Boy even came from. I didn't see him down the back straight there. And now we got DJ right on our gearbox, so we could be in danger of losing 3 positions in the space of a couple of corners here. As he's going to try going around our outside through turn 1. We've got to leave him space on the outside. The Ferrari goes wide. I'm not quite sure what happens there. But then the Ferrari completely turns in on turn 2, and that's going to put me under threat once again from DJ, who's going to have we're going to get sort of equal traction there. He's got the inside line, he's going to have the outside line for the hairpin, as we decided to get a very tight line for the hairpin. Not quite sure why, as I didn't really want to swipe across him, but he's going to get better traction probably. Well, he's going to have better grip, definitely, through the fast light left-hander now, because he's probably got an intact front wing. Now we got the Red Bull of Vixer on his soft tyres. He's going to have a, like, is he going to pull off around the outside? Yeah, it's a great move by Vixer there. So we've lost about 4 or 5 positions in the space of a lap there. So not good progress from us there. And I think at the end of this lap, we will pit for another set of tyres, as a virtual safety car actually gets deployed. Vixer nearly runs to the back of DJ there. But using the virtual safety car, we come into the pit lane, sort of doing what Rosberg did in America to jump Ricciardo. We're sort of trying to do that. We're hopefully going to still do the 2 soft chassis, go on to a set of primes and a set of softs. It's going to be very tight though, as we definitely didn't go as far as we wanted to on these tyres. They definitely had quite a few laps I want to give. I just had very poor pace to the front wing. I've been talking non-stop so far. This race has been very hectic already. We're only on lap 8 now. And now we're going to merge, I believe, in about 11th place. Vortex behind is on the soft tyres. As you can see, my teammate there had a glitch at the start of the race where he just, I don't know why, he parked at the entrance of turn 1. That's probably why everyone's going slowly on the left-hand side. And that helped us definitely gain places on the first lap. But now, enough of that, we're going down the inside of XL Shadows, who emerged from his pit stop just ahead of us. He held it around the outside of us, so it was pretty good going from the Force India driver there. And we're just trying to have a nice run through the final corner. We get very close to the back of him there as he goes quite slow on the apex. We're going to have DRS slipstream, a little bit of lag is sort of, you know, changing distance in front of him. He sort of cuts across us there, but I think it was just good defending. Once again, he sort of defends the inside line. Nowhere really to go. He blocks off all the moves. Have a look down the inside there, but he blocks it off again, making life very difficult for me. Shadows is so far, as I definitely feel I have the faster car in these conditions. But come the next lap, we're even further behind. But are we going to have a diving attempt for Verstappen style? I think we are. We just poke our nose in. Luckily, Shadows gives us room. And somehow we don't spin, well, we both don't spin, even with the contact medal on this game. And now we're trying to have a look down the inside of turn 2, but that's a very rash move, and it wasn't really going to be pulled off. That was a kind of a hurried move from me there. Wasn't really necessary. So it cost me a bit of time, which is a bit unfortunate, but at least it didn't cost Shadows anything, which is good, I suppose. I didn't have to readdress or anything. So halfway through that lap, we got Ryan Cricketers caught at the back of us, the fellow back row starter, I think he's had a few adventures so far this race as well. He's on the soft tyres, so I don't know what strategy he's on, but he's going to have much better grip, that means. and he's gonna get. Well, he got better traction through the snail section. He's got DRS. We're in the slipstream still, so we're not losing him that much. We're gonna have a look down the inside. I don't think we are. We're gonna brake normally. He actually runs us out wide himself, and we're gonna get much better traction out of first gear, short shifting in up to 2, 3, and 4 as we go through the final corner. As I believe Acro Boy is alongside him as well, and I believe had a little bit of contact through the final corner. As we got Shadows ahead, DJ is just moved from pit stop ahead of us on the set of soft tyres. And if you look at the mini map, it looks like Acro Boy is. I don't know if he slammed into the back of a stationary teammate's car. I'm not actually sure what happened to Acro Boy there, but he just somehow disappeared, and worked out as around that sort of time if you look at the mini map just then. But anyway, now on to lap 12, back at the end of the DRS straight. We've got Shadows who runs a little bit wide. Him and DJ are going to run side by side through the final corner. Are we going to have a look around the outside of the four-cylinder driver, get pinned in a little bit by DJ, and we miss the apex, and this gives us a very poor run out to the corner. We were kind of gentlemanly there, really. We should have turned in a little bit more aggressively, but oh well, just didn't really want any contact or any spinners. And now we've got Cricketer flying up our inside, a little bit of contact. We tried to do the switchback, but he positioned the car very nicely, and he gets position from us. He tries to go the inside of Shadows. We tried to go the inside of him. Somehow there wasn't contact. Fortunately, Cricketer gave us enough room on the inside there. So great racing so far. Now on to lap 13. We're still behind the 3 cars ahead. It's a great battle for 9th, 8th, 7th, and 6th so far. As also, I never mentioned, as we make an awful mistake there, nearly lost the cars. I was trying to get good traction, and unfortunately it didn't really work out for us. Rain is actually coming down in about 5-10 minutes from now, so all of us are just trying to hold these tyres out for as long as possible to go straight onto the intermediate tyres or something. But after being stuck behind Shadows for way too long, we decided to have a diving manoeuvre up the hairpin at the end of sector 1. That was actually a good move, made a stick. We gave Shadows enough room, but I think the guys around us on the soft tyres are struggling quite a bit now, as they're on the softer compound, which degrades much easier. So we flew up the inside of DJ, and now we've got Oran Cricketer ahead, who's overtaking someone. It's actually Warden 99, the race leader, who's made a gamble and pitted on the intermediate tyres, as he can just see spitting down on Rain slightly. That's way too early. There's definitely not wet. The track is definitely not wet enough yet for intermediate tyres, but the engineer thinks it is actually. So the engineer was actually calling us into the pits there for a set of intermediate tyres. We make a very late decision to not go in, even though our tyres are pretty dreadful. This says race 72% on the front left. But will this strategy work out? As you can see, the Gecko in his Haas is going very slowly on the set of intermediate tyres. Look, we get much better traction going out of that corner, and we easily get past the Haas car. DJ behind me on his soft tyres has done pretty much the same thing and stayed out, just like me. As we've got KMP4, or Jason as he's known, is also on the intermediate tyres. And look at the poor traction he's got. This track is definitely not suited for intermediate tyres just yet. But unfortunately we've got a slight bit dilemma in the fact that we have to pit the underslap, otherwise we risk doing a puncture. And this is just borderline on what we can stretch the soft tyres to do if we take the soft tyres till the end of the race, assuming it doesn't actually rain any heavier. But we're now up to P5 with everyone gambling, well, most of the field gambling on a set of intermediate tyres and listening to the engineer. That's why having your own sort of like thinking strategy and not relying on the engineer so much is a good thing to do, is to get past Fixer there, who's also on the intermediate tyres. Next up we've got the Haas and I believe the McLaren, who are both still on the intermediate tyres. They haven't come in yet, they're still gambling on the fact they'll rain heavier. As you can see, the McLaren there struggling so much, has gone off the track, and that's easy pickings for us really. And now we're into 3rd place. Can you believe it, guys? 3rd place from 17th on the grid. And considering I haven't actually got a podium at all in any league race, make that 2nd place now as DJ comes to the pit lane for a set of medium tyres. But it is spitting rain quite a bit. That's making the track very slippery, and the pace kind of quite poor actually. And mistakes are plenty. Unfortunately, in the final stint there, we almost lose it on that curb. That could have been so costly. It could have definitely ended up chipping the barriers there if I wasn't careful. But the soft tyres are definitely wearing out quite a bit now as I get bad traction going on the curb, a bit through the gravel there, and that's cost me a whole heaps of time to DJ. and unfortunately on the penultimate lap he's caught right to the back of us. He's on the much better, I think, medium tyres. I like the medium tyres in this game. During this race, they definitely seem like the better race tyres, as they're just struggling to keep in front of him. The grips completely faded away from these soft tyres. Look at the understeer compared to DJ, and he's got much better run going up the outside. We defend the inside, going towards turn 1. There's more cars going in the pits ahead. I think they're the guys who went on the intermediate tyres and finally realising too late that they should have stayed on dries. But we've got DJ and me going side by side through turn 2. We're a bit too kind there. We gave him a bit too much space through the snare section and the left-hander, and he gets position ahead of us. And unfortunately, there's P4 right behind us. It's Warden, who gambled on a set of intermediate tyres. He was leading the race at some point. He's going to dive down the inside, actually. We have to leave him room, otherwise I don't really want any contact this late in the race in the final lap. But we're trying to fight for this, the final podium spot, and I really want to go on the podium, but he's going to hold it around outside. Bit of contact, but no real collisions there. And unfortunately, Warden's got the position. We tried to fight back. We tried to stay within DRS range, go on the pits, the back straight, but the tyres just lost so much grip. I've never actually done that before, where I've braked normally and they just skidded off the road, thanks to the lack of grip. And as you can see, the front left tyre is sort of doing that wavy sort of pattern that it does sometimes before you get a puncture. So that's how close my tyres were to screaming out in pain. But I mean, I was second for a large chunk of that race there, but P4, I reckon, is definitely a solid result, and I'll take that. P4, yeah, that's a good result, I reckon. Considering I haven't scored any points yet in this league, I'm happy with P4. I'll accept that. Yeah, that's a good race. A lot of battling. I'm nearly speechless from commenting over all of that. That was a whole host of battles and overtakes. Very good racing from everyone I was racing there during that race. And congratulations on Fitcho. He, like me and DJ, gambled on staying out in the dryers, and it paid off for him. Congrats on DJ as well for staying in second place, and good recovery for Warden. He was leading the race, but good recovery to finish third place after, I'm pretty sure, it stopped like 2 extra times to get rid of the intermediates. But that was a good race. I hope Russia will be the same. Yeah, just a really good race, really fun stuff. I'll see you guys for the next race then, which will be the Russian Grand Prix. So I'll see you then. Palms out.